Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Pauper video here on the channel. For those who don't know, I do enjoy playing Pauper. I think it's a very fun format. There's a lot of powerful things you can do. My favorite deck, the deck that I've played the most, is Affinity, and this is the list that I am currently running. I'm going to do a quick deck tech, and then I'll take it through a Pauper league. So yeah, to the deck tech, we are playing the 16 artifact lands. Basically, Affinity is a mechanic that makes all of your spells if your spell has Affinity, it costs one less for each artifact that you have in play, and the lands are what makes this deck tick, because these are lands and they're also artifacts. So if I play an Ancient Den, it essentially taps for 2 mana to cast a lot of my cards, because if I have a Frogmite, the Frogmite gets its cost reduced by 1. And it's even better than that, because it can essentially tap for that extra mana on every card with Affinity you cast. So Affinity, I break it down into cheap artifacts, mana fixers, because you do play a lot of powerful cards in a lot of different colors, and then just miscellaneous spells. So we start off with the 16 lands. I have 4 Ancient Den, 4 Great Furnace, 4 Seat of the Synods, and 4 Tree of Tales. That's because I am playing white, red, blue, and green spells to help fix for that mana, because these are all essentially one. They tap for 1 color. I have 4 Chromatic Stars, 2 Prophetic Prisms, and 4 Springleaf Drums. These just kind of help make you be able to tap for the color you need at the right situation. Springleaf Drum is really important to some of your faster draws, because you can play Springleaf Drum on turn 1, then play a creature, and Springleaf Drum doesn't care if the creature has Summoning Sickness, you can still tap it, so that can lead to some explosive starts. In the cheap artifacts department, we have Flayer Husk. I really like this card because it's a cheap creature that can become relevant later by suiting on to some of your creatures, which is really nice. Some of your best draws involve Flayer Husk and Springleaf Drum. So I really like having a cheap creature that's easy to cast to fuel the Springleaf Drum. Frogmite is an easy inclusion. Your ideal turns involve casting this for free on turn as early as turn 2. And then Mirror Enforcer is one of your bigger payoffs. Just 4/4s are very big in Pauper, and you're casting this very early into the game. My deck is a little bit unique. I really think that the flyers that Affinity has access to are quite nice. So I am running Somber Hoverguard and Auriac Sunchaser. I think that, if you don't know this has Metalcraft, which is similar to Affinity in that it cares about having a lot of artifacts, so it becomes a 3/3 flyer very easily. So I have a total of 8 3-powered flyers, and those can get even bigger with Flayer Husks, and a card that I'll get to later, Bone Splitter, which is a pretty unique card I run. And then I have Carapace Forger, another card with Metalcraft, just a 2-mana 4/4 a lot of the time, which is really effective. Thoughtcast to refuel my hand, Galvanic Blast as removal and some extra reach, and then Bone Splitter is the last card in the deck, and I do want to talk about this card a little bit. My deck, if you have watched Pauper videos before, you may notice that my deck is missing the classic Atog Fling combo that a lot of people fear from Affinity, and essentially what that card does, I'll Google it, I do have the card in my collection, because I have played with the card. Essentially, Atog is really a card that you can have very good success with in this deck, because all of your cards are artifacts, so it has the ability to sacrifice an artifact, give it +2/+2 until end of turn. So you play that, and then you play Fling, which is a card that lets you sacrifice Atog, deal damage equal to its power, so you can just sacrifice your whole board, get in for a huge chunk of damage when your opponent's tapped out. The reason I don't play Atog is because the way I view Affinity, I view it as an aggressive synergy deck. And I think that if you have a Atog in your deck, it just takes away from that synergy and aggression, because you play an Atog on turn 2, and you don't really want to sacrifice your artifacts in the early stages of the game, and the early stages of the game are really where Affinity is strong. So instead, I play Bone Splitter and some Flyers, because the Flyers can also close out games, because a lot of decks don't have the flying defense. Also, the Flyers can block other Flyers, and Flyers are something you can sometimes struggle with. So yeah, that is my personal stance on the Atog Fling combo. I think it does have merits, but I think I like the more aggressive strategy in the main deck. Bone Splitter is a card that I side out quite often, though, for game 2 when the games tend to slow down. So here, let's check out the sideboard. We have Relic of Progenitus. It's another artifact that can actually cantrip later on, and there are some graveyard decks that are pretty nice to get rid of. Some decks run Fogs that they can flash back. There's just multiple graveyard things, so I like having Relic in the sideboard. It's another artifact that I can bring in to keep my artifact density high for Affinity. Metallic Rebuke is another card that I bring in quite frequently. It just is oftentimes a 1-mana counter spell, which is pretty nice. And then I have 2 copies of Hydroblast to stop red spells, 2 copies of Pyroblast to stop blue spells. Blue is pretty good in Pauper. 2 Ancient Grudges for the Affinity matchup mostly. 3 Krark Clan Shamans. One thing that is really nice to do with Krark Clan Shaman is you can hold priority when you use it to sacrifice multiple artifacts and have a pretty good board sweeper. So I like Krark Clan Shaman. And then I have a 1/1 split of Serene Heart and Natural State. Natural State is not as good as Ancient Grudge in the Affinity matchup, and not good as Serene Heart in the Boggles matchup, which is primarily when I bring in Natural State. but I can bring it in for both matchups, so I do like it. And then I have a 1 of Serene Heart to really help me against Boggles, because Boggles can be a rough matchup. But yeah, let's get into the league, and I hope you stay with me. Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to Round 1 with Affinity, Pauper Affinity. I do want to remind you that if you enjoyed the video, be sure to click that thumbs up and subscribe to get updates for whenever I post new content, and let me know what you think of Pauper videos in the comment section down below, and what you think of the deck tech. But yeah, we're going to be wanting to play first. Let's hope to get a good hand. This is a great opening hand. We have this Springleaf Drum. We're going to be able to cast a Frogmite for 0 on turn 2. Pretty much this is like the ideal opener. You get to see what one of the benefits of running this type of deck. Another thing you can think of, if you are someone that prefers the Fling version, just compare like Auriok Sunchaser to the Atog and Bone Splitter to Fling, because those are like the 2 cards that are like most close to being there. Okay, so here we're going to start with Springleaf Drum, I think. The choice is between Flare Husk and the Drum, not Bone Splitter is into consideration here. But we're going to end up playing both anyway, so I do like playing the Flare Husk because there is the off chance that we'll want to get in for some damage. Like if we draw like another Frogmite or something. Okay, it looks like we might be playing against Burn, which isn't a great matchup. Though he didn't have a turn 1 play. Oh, this is going to get disgusting. So here we're going to Springleaf Drum. Do we have a turn 2 Mirror Enforcer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, so he kills my... Oh, it doesn't matter. I still have turn 2 Mirror Enforcer. Jeez. So we are against Burn. Wow, this is a very explosive draw from us. We could, let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. Turn 2, 4, 4. No big deal. Deployed my entire hand. Next turn, I can equip to the Mirror Enforcer, bash in for 6, play my Auriok Sunchaser. Thermal Alchemist is a good card. I think it is worth getting the Auriok Sunchaser down, though. And bash in for 6. The scary thing about Burn is, I mean, he has 5 cards in hand, and each of them probably does 4 damage to me, which is really terrifying. It's because the Thermal Alchemist essentially increases the damage of each of his spells by 1. So he could do like 12 damage to me this turn. Even more, maybe, if he has like Fire Blast. Burn is definitely a very close matchup. I think this version matches up better against Burn than the Atog version, because the Atog version can't necessarily use the Atog combo until a little bit later. Oh no. Yep, that's rough. I was considering equipping the Flare Husk to the Auric instead of the Bone Splitter to the Mirror, but I thought that it was better to get in for more damage. The 6 power here, I think. Yikes. This is close. I think I want to just equip the Flare Husk here. Though, attacking definitely has some appeal. Just with the Mirror Enforcer, play the Prophetic Prism, see what I draw. I'm going to do that. I'm going to play the Prism, go through my deck, hope to find like removal for the Alchemist or something of that nature. And if I do find a land, I can equip the thing anyway. That was a nice find. We're going to attack first. Definitely want to keep the pressure up against burn because they can get really explosive out of nowhere. Whoa, he's just jump blocking. That's insane. Another cool thing about playing this version of the deck is people expect the Atog, so they sideboard as if you have the Atog a lot of the time, which can lead to them having dead cards like Hydroblast and stuff. Hydroblast kills a red permanent. But here we have him almost dead next turn, 6, 9, 10, 11. We have 12 damage next turn. Rift Bolt, okay. Chain Lightning. Don't have the mana for that. Okay, so now I can equip. And all my guys can attack now. I could definitely still lose this game. He could just have 2 bolts in his hand and a bolt and a fire blast or something like that. So all of it comes down to this turn. I'm at 10. He's going to hit me for another 4 thanks to the Rift Bolt. So I think I'm dead, but we came very close. Essentially, if you can't kill their Thermo Alchemist or their Firebrand Archer, I think the other one effective like that is called, you're in very grim shape against burn. If he does have 1 land, though, I can outrace him, I think, because I'll be at 6. So if he has like 2 lands, I don't think he does, though. I think I'm dead. That's bad. Okay. Oh, he doesn't have a land drop. Oh, it doesn't matter, though. Yep, he got me. Okay. Close match for sure. Close game, I mean. We almost got there. The first Searing Blaze was just too good against us. Okay, here we bring in our counter spells because they can be pretty helpful. And the Hydroblast can also just function as a removal spell, which is really nice. Other than that, we don't sideboard a ton. We actually take out... what do we take out? Some cards that you never cut are the mana cards, because those cards are like essential for the deck to run smoothly. We're gonna cut the Sun Chasers. They're just a little bit harder to cast and a little bit clunkier for our deck. So we're gonna run it like this. We do want to keep the Bone Splitters in this matchup because there are some of the cards that help us go faster. We'd like to play first. Being on the draw for game 3 is going to be scary, but we're going to keep this hand. It's terrifying because he could have Gorilla Shaman post board, and Gorilla Shaman is a beating against this deck. That's another reason why we have Hydroblasts, and we bring them in against a lot of red decks. We are going to start with the Star, though. We want to make sure our Carapace Forger is a 4/4 on turn 2, so that he can't be killed by a bolt. Okay, that's fine. We need to make we actually aren't going to block the Gitu Lava Runner if he attacks with it, because we're just going to start because he could have a Searing Blaze here, and just kill it, and that would be really bad for us. Ooh, that was a good draw. Play the Chromatic Star. We will start getting in. Opponent taking their time. I don't think we can cast both of our spells, so we would Metallic Rebuke. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because you have to tap the Chromatic Star to facilitate the improvise, and this is a tap ability. Opponent seems like a nice person. Sorry, Dorm Wi-Fi sucks. That's why they're playing a little bit slower. I think I'm in a pretty decent spot here. There is an argument for just playing the Prophetic Prism instead of the Chromatic Star. That probably would have been better, given the situation, because I can't cast both of my counters anyway. Wow, he just doesn't cast a spell on turn 2. That's huge for me. And I am going to be cracking one of my Chromatic Stars. I think. Maybe not. I'll probably just keep him in play for the Rebuke. Yeah, it definitely would have been better. I did the math a little bit wrong in my head. I thought I could use both counter spells, but I was wrong. Interesting spot, though. He doesn't have a 2-drop. I have some pressure on him, though I do want to find more pressure. I do want to hold up counter magic if I can, too, because he could have a Smash to Smithereens. Yikes. His Wi-Fi seems bad. And even though he is the burn player, it is worth it to trade 4 damage for 1, because I don't want to give him too much time. I guess we'll just play the Prophetic Prism next turn. Definitely was a mistake, though. I wouldn't have caught it if my opponent was playing faster, but I mean, that's pretty nice that I get to see my mistake now. I did the math wrong. I can't cast both counters. I could have done that math beforehand, which would have been better. Always do the decision-making before you make your play. See, this Synod is definitely like the best land in my deck because I have the more blue spells than any other color. What could he have in his hand? He could have Smash or Smithereens, so he would have cast that on turn 2 to kill one of my lands, probably. He doesn't have any of his creatures, or he would have played those. I really have no idea what he could have. Like, Burn has so many 1-drops and stuff. He could have, like, double Lightning Bolt. His hand could be, like, all Needle Drops. But that's, like... Needle Drop is deal 1 to someone that's already taken... to something, I think, that's already taken damage. Draw a card, so... It worked really well with the Alchemists, because you can ping them, draw a card, do an extra damage, ping them again, hopefully cast another spell. But the opponent is really struggling to make headway here. I'm not even remotely considering Hydroblasting his Lava Runner because he has way more important cards to Hydroblast that will do more damage. take the damage. Yeah, I don't want to get baited into... Am I fine with this? I think I'm fine with this. It's a very slow card. I'm going to counter the needle drop. It's just like making him like not have as many resources, and I do have the Hydroblast, and I want to use my mana. Prism. We will sacrifice to add blue, but we have the Prism, so it doesn't really matter which color. Good series of draws there. Definitely going to keep the pressure up. This is a flyer, so it doesn't care about the Martyr of Ashes. We are going to counter that. Our Somber Hoverguard is pretty important here, I think. Okay, we don't really care about the land at this point, so... Yeah, looking good to be good. This Martyr of Ashes is useless now. He only has one card in hand. We've run him out of resources, and we have just a way bigger board, so... I'm liking our chances in this race. We just need a big spell here. Any spell. I jinxed myself by saying I just needed a spell. Too much to ask before, but happens. If he doesn't have something, he's going to have to jump block next turn. Ugh. That is one of the things with affinities. It can flood out a little bit sometimes, because you do have a lot of cards like this that just cycle. We only run 16 lands, though, so... And we've drawn, like, 7 of them, so... We really needed a spell that turn to just hammer it home. But his draw has been pretty bad too, so. Okay. No cards in hand. Definitely just going to... Oh, we kill him. Perfect. I was going to say that I'm just going to attack with the Somber Hoverguard so I don't die to any Bolt top deck. But now we can just attack with both and then Galvanic Blast his face. It doesn't matter if we attack with both even. But we'll just do it. Got there. Game 3 is the tricky one. Though it does look like he sideboarded in a ton of cards, which is kind of risky sometimes. There's definitely not another card we're considering to sideboard in. Yeah, the Sun Chaser seems just a little bit too slow. A tad slow. Thoughtcast is definitely a slower card, but it really helps with those games where you flood out a little bit. Burn can be tricky. Some decks even run the card that gains 10 life just to help against burn. We're going to keep this hand. It has a Hydroblast. It has a really good early curve. If he doesn't have a Smash to Smithereens, which he could very well have. But I'm liking my spot here. Lava Bolt. I'm just going to hold up Hydroblast, actually. If he smashes my land, I get really screwed. Cycling. I did hold up mana for it, so I'm just going to use my mana efficiently. This works out nicely. I get to hold up my second Hydroblast. And since a lot of his cards do the same thing, using my mana efficiently is just really nice. I can still counter an important blue spell. Having my second Hydroblast really makes it easier for me to make that decision as well. Yeah, so he has only 3 cards in hand, and I'm at a pretty healthy life total still. I like countering the Searing Blaze because that's like one of his most like high impact cards. Everything else is like a Lava Spike equivalent. Okay, so now he's Lightning Bolting my guy. I think Lightning Bolting their creatures is generally a mistake, because if the game goes longer, I'm going to be the one that's favored. Flare Husk. Into the Carapace Forger and hit him for 1. That extra every point of damage matters. We're just going to cycle through this to see what we find. It's correct to choose blue here because I do have more blue spells than any other color. Do I want to equip? No, I don't. Okie doke. Hit him for 6. He could have a Lava Runner and get in for 2, but I don't really feel like I'm supposed to be holding back to Chump Block. Though I do get in the same number of damage if I do hold back at a Chump Blocker. If he does have an attacker, because I can Chump Block and then put the equip onto my guy. I'm still a little bit worried. He has 4 cards in hand, and if each card represents 3 damage, which a lot of the time it is the case that is how it works out. Still going to be attacking all out. Okay, so he didn't cast anything that turn, which makes me think that he doesn't have that much going on. But if he had like 4 bolts, I could be in grim shape. Ooh. A little bit of tech here is I can use the Springleaf Drum to equip the Flare Husk. And you want to equip a lot of the time to your biggest creature. I'm going to equip to a medium creature this time, actually. I think he might have a couple bolts and be forced to double bolt the Carapace Forger. A little unfortunate, but I'm glad I equipped to that one. The fact that he's killing my creatures is a really good sign for me, though. Now he's going face. So he only has 2 cards. I'm really liking my spot here. Galvanic Blast immediately wins me the game. Thoughtcast would be great. Okay. Ouch. Nope. He could kill me next turn. He has to have Bolt, Bolt, Fire Blast, but it could happen. We are going to play our Great Furnace so that if he does have another Chain Lightning, we can get him. But he needs to have exactly Bolt, Bolt, Fire Blast, so. Boom, we got there. That was an interesting game, very close. Don't know if my opponent played it perfectly, but we managed to get the win against Burn. pretty close match. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you stay tuned for the next round. Hello, and welcome to round 2 of this Pauper League with Affinity. We win the die roll again. We get to choose to be on the play. This hand's a little bit sketchy, but we're going to keep it. It does have some stuff going for it. If I draw a second land, it's quite solid. And I'm eventually going to be able to deploy this Frogmite regardless of the land issues. The second Springleaf Drum is pretty bad, but it'll be fine. Ooh, playing into green deck. Hopefully, it's weird. A lot of the green decks would have a 1-drop, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm up against here. We're just going to play the second Springleaf Drum over the Bone Splitter. We're not going to want to use the mana to equip, but if we draw a second Frogmite, it could be nice to have both Springleaf Drums in play. Opponent not with a second land. Interesting. Oh, they do have a second land. Okay, so it looks like we're playing against green aggro, which is a pretty good deck. Hopefully his turn 2 isn't too explosive. Speak of the devil. Well, that was a bit of a swing, but my creatures are a little bit bigger, so no reason not to cast the Bone Splitter first, because the Frogmite's going to be free. And then we can Galvanic Blast one of his guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do need to hit a land, and then we can cast both of our Enforcers next turn. It's a little bit scary because the spawn can trigger Hunger of the Howlpack, which is an instant that can give a creature 1 counter, +1/+1 counter for 1 mana, but if a creature died, then it can put 3 counters on it, so that would be a little bit scary. Oh yeah, definitely going to go for it here. Hopefully he doesn't have a protection spell, but he probably does because he sacrificed the Scion. This is really something I have to go for, though. Yeah, I lose. Do I lose? Maybe I can potentially win this, but yeah, that was definitely a blowout. I had to go for it, though. I'm going to take 9 here. Maybe if I can deploy a couple of 4/4s, I can double block the Burning Tree and then be pretty stable. But drawing a land is the first step. Thoughtcast is not a land, but it could find me a land. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm just going to play the Prophetic Prison and then all 3 Mere Enforcers. So yeah, that's why you don't concede. This deck can definitely do some very disgusting things. That was an incredible play, like in terms of like how it worked out. And now I can just triple block the Burning Tree Emissary, and even if he gives it +4/+4, I can still kill it. No reason just to double block it, I think. I really want to get it off the board. I'm going to be refueling with another Thoughtcast next turn, so though I am due for some lands. This Bone Splitter is going to make this guy able to trade with something bigger, maybe. I can also just block like this. Take the damage. I'll have 4, 8, 12, 14, 16, 18 power. That's a lot of power. So what could he have? He could have another Vines, in which case this triple block is fine, but not exceptional because he's going to have the Elephant. If I do kill this, he's going to still have, I'm going to be at 7, he's going to have 7 power in play. But I'm going to still have a mirror, 2 Mirror Enforcers and 2 Frogmites. I like this play. If he doesn't have anything, it works out really nicely. If he does have something, I'm still taking only 1 more point of damage. Okay, so he did have that. Okay, he has no cards in hand now, so I'm in great shape here. Definitely going to be able to equip the Bone Splitter this turn. I'm going to put it onto a... I want to block, double block maybe? Put it on a Frogmite. Do I want to attack? I think I do want to attack. So I can double block here, eat, or I can just double block here. Gonna get in for 4. I can still double block this. Yeah, I just want to put some pressure on him because he does have presumably Vault Scourge in his deck, which is a 1/1 flyer. I do have other flyers, but I think it's scary to let him keep attacking me. Okay, so the attack worked out. Quirion Ranger can kind of give his creatures vigilance. Ooh, nice draw. I don't really want to I don't want to send one of the Mirror Enforcers, so I'm just going to make this into a 6-powered creature. And then just once I draw one of my flyers, I'll be able to start really pressuring him. And here I don't think I want to attack. Next turn I can attack with the 6/2, but here I just want to be able to trade the Frogmite for the Burning Tree Emissary straight up. I do have a couple flyers in my deck that would be really nice to draw, because then they can start hitting for like 7 a turn. But now I can go like attack for 6, double equip the other Frogmite, be in pretty good shape. Wow, this game really turned around for me. Yep, that's the card I was talking about, Vault Scourge. That's what makes me want to close the game out. Okay. I can't get too aggressive, but I can start trading off some of my guys a little bit. I have a lot of good draws, but lands aren't one. And I'm starting to get up to the chair. Oh, gosh, no! Why did he have... That was just... Oh my gosh. That's how I was going to lose the game. That's why I was afraid of the Vault Scourge, by the way, why I wanted to start attacking. But those were two really good top decks in a row. But we're not dead. Still alive. We can trade with the Vault Scourge. Trading off 2/2s is fine for me. I'm going to put one on this and one onto a Mirror Enforcer. This is just in case he does find like a combat trick for this guy. Even if he gives it +4/+4, it'll still work out for me. And I'm going to play the land because I do have other Thought Casts in my deck. And I'm not really representing much by holding it. If I had a creature, I would have played it. The deck doesn't run all that many instants. Ranker is also just kind of scary in general. Luckily, the mono green deck doesn't have like only it doesn't have any like tricks other than combat tricks. It doesn't have like removal. Like it won't have a plummet for my Somber Hover Guard. Clutch top deck of the Somber Hover Guard, by the way. My opponent's deck doesn't run many lands either. Mine doesn't either. So like we run a very similar land count. I've drawn like 5 of mine. He's drawn 4 of his. So, but I have my 2 Springleaf Drums. I have a lot of cards that function kind of like lands, and a lot of like cantrips. But I do have a lot of good draws left in my deck. Of course, that's the top deck. Jesus. Okay, opponent went top decked. Vault Scourge into Rancor into Elephant Guide. That was their sequence of draws there. And that is how I lost. That's very unfortunate. We're gonna bring in Natural State. I think it can kill Vault Scourge because Vault Scourge is an artifact. And that's kind of nice. Could consider Serene Heart, but it doesn't stop Rancor, it only stops Elephant. And they run probably a couple of those, but not like too many. Then Metallic Rebuke is a consideration. What's bad in the matchup? I don't really there's not like a ton of bad stuff in this matchup. Probably gonna cut a Bone Splitter for the Natural State and run it like that. Kinda wanna bring these in. Got a Bone Splitter for that. Just to have a little bit more tricks going on. Somber Hover Guard is medium, but that was a very unfortunate game. I feel like I was very favored to win. There's a keep. Like, we were in a top deck war, and he drew, like, 3 perfect cards in a row, and I hit a couple lands, and a card that did keep me alive. That was a nice hit, but that Elephant, whatever the heck it's called, Elephant Guide or whatever. Jeez, brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. I'm going to start with the star so I can cast Carapace Forger on turn 2. It's important not to over-sideboard with this deck. Quirion Ranger, not his scariest 1-drop. One cool trick with this deck is you can put a affinity card on the stack when sacrificing Lantern to cast it. Like, Hover Guard will count the artifact still. Okay. So my Carapace Forge is a little bit vulnerable here. That being said, it's probably still worth blocking Quirion Ranger if he attacks. because he could be running. There's a card in the deck that gets a +1/+1 counter if I've taken damage on the turn. Okay, how explosive is your turn 2 going to be? Oh gosh, I totally forgot about that card. Oh, I hate Solana Ledgewalker. Oh my gosh, I forgot that that's their sideboard plan. That card always wrecks me no matter what deck I'm playing. Oh no. Well, we're gonna go for Prophetic Prism. Hope to hit a land here. If we don't hit a land, it's a little bit bad. Man, definitely gonna bring in the Serene Heart for game 3, just to try and help stop Solana Ledgewalker, because we can never. I guess we do have a lot of flyers, so we can block it. But it's gonna get pretty beefy, which is scary. Next turn, we're going to go, I think, Flare Husk into Thoughtcast into hopefully land Hover Guard. If he has +4/+4, I lose either way. Yeah, we're going to block like this. Behind the Vastwood, yep. We're just going to stick with the plan. Really want to hit a land here. Perfect, we hit a land. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I did the math right on that. Ooh, lucky that I did the math right on that. At least, and now the Vines is out of his hand for if I can. Now I can try to trade with the Solana Ledgewalker. I do have 8 flyers in this deck, and it looks like I'm going to not run out of gas because I have another Thoughtcast here, so. Jesus, I'm so screwed. It just changes the way the game has to be played on such a major level. Hate Solana Ledgewalker. My natural state would be a really good draw. Play this, look for another land drop. If we are going to hit lands, we might as well get them out. Okay. Play that, and then play my Sun Chaser. Go for the double block onto his Ledgewalker. And then just hope he doesn't have another Vines. If he attacks, though, it probably means he has Vines. I don't love the idea of racing, like hitting him for 3 down to 17, because this thing can just snowball much quicker if he draws like another aura. So maybe blocking is too risky, and I should have gone for the aggressive line. Because I hit him to 17, he hits me to 10. I hit him to 11, he hits me to 6. I hit him to 5, he hits me to 1. And so I just lose the race. But then I am playing my Forgers. I don't know, it's close. Oh no! Removal is so frustrating. Okay. I'm going to have to equip a Flayer's Husk to try and deal with the Ledgewalker. Hopefully we draw a land here, so I can get my Carapace Forges rolling. Booyah. There's some consideration to, actually there's literally no consideration to keeping up my mana, or he can, because he can just epic confrontation with this guy into my Somber Hover Guard and kill it. Just gotta hope it's good enough. Start getting in that damage. All the damage. And just gotta hope he whiffs, which is hard. Mono green is a really consistent deck, but it can happen. Man, last game was the one I had to win, but he just went literally like the perfect 3 cards. I think those are the only 3 cards. See, that's the only 3 card sequence that actually kills me in 3 turns. I guess another Vines would have done it instead of the elephant thing, but jeez, it was terrifying. Horrible for me to have to live through. Yikes. These are really only blocks. What? He's letting me kill his Ledgewalker? That's so good for me. Okay. What the Skargan Pit Skulk says to me that is that his last card is like a Rancor, and he doesn't think I'm going to be able to block his guys. So I'm just going to play this guy. Okay, I want to get out my Prophetic Prism so I can play Forger and hold up Galvanic Blast on the same turn. But I think it's better to play the Flayer Husk and equip, hold up my Galvanic Blast to help deal with the Skargan. And I can just chump block the Elephant token. And then next turn, he's probably going to go for it this turn. And I can Galvanic Blast the Skargan in response. Or anything in response, really. I have the board definitely on lockdown now. Wow, trading off the Solana Ledgewalker really makes me feel so much safer. He might have been gambling that I wouldn't have another big creature. Definitely going to let that happen. Now we're going to go for Prophetic Prism. If we hit a land, we can do everything we want. Okay, Thoughtcast. No reason to play the Springleaf Drum. We'll just wait for a flyer. Start chipping in with that once we can. Hopefully this works. Whew! Catastrophe avoided, folks. That was so huge. Okay, so now we can... Ooh, perfect. Hmm. We want to get this up to a 5/5 before we attack with it, I think. We can just attack with Frogmite. We're fine trading it off. Not really. We don't really want to. It's a 3/3 right now, which is pretty nice. We definitely want to deploy both our threats here. I guess deploying the Springleaf Drum would have been nice, because then we could also equip a Flare Husk and get in for some damage. Okay, so if I just wanted to equip 2 husks to Sunchaser. If I equip 1 husk to Sunchaser, I hit him for 4, and then I can equip a second one if I think it's necessary. Wow, opponent conceded. Crazy. Okay, how do I want to change my sideboarding? I definitely want to bring in Serene Heart. It looks like he has the full 4 elephant things. And this is a nice answer to the elephant card. I could bring in Metallic Rebuke, but I do have to cut a card. What do I want to cut? I think Metallic Rebuke is probably the cut on the draw. Serene Heart is probably just going to be a better draw. I really need my creatures to help combat his stuff. Yikes, this is a sketchy hand. I think it's a mulligan. This is also a mulligan. We'll keep this though. Put that on top. That second hand was like, just the little hands just didn't really do much. Okay, Vault Scourge. Hopefully he goes for something and we can get a 2 for 1. That'll help get us back in the game in terms of cards. Like if he goes for a Rancor or something. I'm just going to kill it now. The reason being is that there's a card, the Pit Skulk with Bloodthirst can be really annoying. Double Nettle Sentinel, eh? Our Sunchaser should be able to deal with that. Just in terms of size. I'm really scared of the non-creatures in his deck. Okay, I just need an artifact now. And that way I can start deploying my enforcers. I guess I can't really stop the Skargan anyway. Okay. I have a pretty big draw coming up. If I could find another Sunchaser is probably my best draw. Both of us have 3 cards in hand, but obviously, like, he has 2 guys on the board. Well, that's one way to get my Mirror Enforcers into play, is just to draw enough lands, but you could definitely just have artifact removal and screw me that way. That is the downside of running a 16-land deck. Sometimes you get 1-landers and have to mulligan, and then you mulligan again, which happens for sure. Hopefully the opponent has a horrible hand and doesn't do anything. Oh, yeah. Does he get to conspire? No, he doesn't. Yeah, that's the thing I was talking about. Though, if I did deploy the Mirror Enforcer, he would have killed it. We're back in the game, boys. Hanging on by a thread, as they say. Another Gleeful Conspire would definitely get us. We need to draw another artifact this coming turn. Another land would be fine. Really any artifact so that we can start getting these guys down. These guys really get worse when you don't have a 7-card hand. That's one of the reasons I don't cut the Springleaf Drums or the Flare Husks, because those two combined have like be some mana sources that you can count. Because if you have like a 1-lander with Flare Husk and okay. Not the greatest finds of Vastwood. He's getting in for 6 though. So I'm hoping to hit a land so I can play my Mirror Enforcer. Serene Heart would be a pretty bad draw right now. Mostly because I can't cast it. Okay, opponent looks like they have an all spells hand, presumably. So do I though. Land would be really nice here. Or drum would even be fine. I'll take it. Gotta get the Mirror Enforcer into play. 4/4 is a little bit bigger than the 3/3. I mean, I'm dead to another Vines, obviously. Actually, I'm not dead to another Vines, because he can't cast it. I can just chump the guy that he puts it on. Because this guy doesn't untap. So there's still a chance. You're saying there's a chance. There is. Most definitely. Oh no. Please don't attack me. That's a bad sign. No, don't attack, don't attack. No! I mean, I have to block. But I mean, because like if he has Vines, I'm dead if I don't block. No, you monster. But he couldn't kill me with the Vines. That's so good. Oh, I'm hanging on by a thread. Baby, I'm hanging on. I would have double blocked it if I'd been able to keep that guy untapped. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so I'm assuming he has another relevant spell in his hand. He has 3 spells. Do I just cast this guy or do I cast Thoughtcast? I'm going to cast the Thoughtcast first. I can just hit another artifact. Well, that didn't work out. Yeah, that didn't work out well. Dang it, I really wanted to hold up both of my blockers. Yep, that was unfortunate. I feel like he has another combat trick, because if he had creatures, he would have just been playing his creatures. If I could have had both my guys untapped, it would have been much better for me. But I gambled on hitting a Frogmite or a Flare Husk to crew the Springleaf Drum. Because I think I'm behind this game and I need to take some risks. Also, a Galvanic Blast would have been nice. Feels bad, man. Definitely a close game, though. If he doesn't have another Vines of Vastwood, we could be in business. Okay, he Rancors. He Rancors. I can't beat Howl of the Pack or whatever. So I'm just going to eat that guy. Okay, I can block that, block that. We're still alive. Big draw. Man, if I'd drawn that instead of Springleaf Drum. We're totally dead, but we might have a chance. We're at 1 life. Opponent still has not hit their 3rd land. It's the final countdown. Diddle-doo-doo. Diddle-doo-doo-doo. No! Oh, the back-breaking epic confrontation. Okay, kills that. Yup. Rats. Unable to get there. Oh, man. No, we didn't get to read the message. Oh, yeah. We were not getting there this game. Yep. Man, that was a close match. I mean, the mulligan to 5 definitely hurt us. Yeah, but it's all right. And hopefully we can bounce back in round 3. I hope you stay with me. Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to part 3. No, what? Round 3 of this Pauper Affinity video. This hand looks sketchy for sure. We are on the draw, which helps. So we go land, Flare Husk, land. This is a good hand. We can go Flare Husk on turn 1, and then Springleaf Drum and play Frogmite. Looks like opponent is on blue-red Delver, or maybe they're just playing snow-covered lands for fun, but the blue-red deck often runs snow-covered lands, so it can run Scred. Okie-doke. I often like to lead with Flare Husk in this type of matchup, because if I do draw a land, then I can get in for a point of damage. There is a little bit of downside that he could kill the Flare Husk, but... Okay, so he's Jataxian probing again. Augur of Bolas. Getting a Brainstorm, nice, good value. Tap this guy, play my Chromatic Star, Frogmite. Pretty nice sequence overall. I have essentially 2 lands because of this Springleaf Drum. So I guess we'll find out if he's playing red or not pretty soon. My flyer should be pretty good. I can deploy both of them next turn, 2 Somber Hoverguards next turn using a pretty neat trick. I'll show you how it works in case I don't end up doing it. Basically, you cast... Oh, so he is playing the red version. Perfect. Good to know. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts in play, so this costs 1 blue mana. Oh, blue-white. Interesting. Okay, so that makes me think it's Tireless Tribe combo. That makes the Jataxian Probes make more sense. So the snow-covered lands were just to mess me up. Tireless Tribe wins. It's like a combo deck, so Galvanic Blast is going to be the key and putting pressure on him. So basically, the way this next turn is going to work for me is I'm going to be able to... okay, that makes it unnecessary, but I'll tell you how it would have worked. So now I can just cast the Springleaf Drum and then use these 2 guys to cast my Hoverguards. But before, I was going to use my Somber Hoverguard, cast it with the Springleaf Drum, and then announce that I'm casting Somber Hoverguard, and then crack the Chromatic Star to get the blue mana when I'm casting it. Because it counts this as you're in the process of casting it, the affinity count, and then you use the blue mana afterwards. So it's pretty cool. But as it is, we're just going to get that blue mana. And we're actually going to deploy the... that kind of hurt. Shoot. We're actually going to deploy Auriak Sunchaser because it uses our mana a little bit better. No, we can't. Never mind. What am I saying? Whoops. We'll just get that guy out there and pass the turn. And until he has a Tireless Tribe in play, we don't need to be afraid of and like hold up our Galvanic Blast. Though if once he does have a Tireless Tribe, there it is. He's going to have counter spells up, presumably. So we do want to be able to block it with a Flayer Husk and stuff. That's actually really helpful. We'll just hold up these two lands to cast our 2 Galvanic Blasts. So we're just going to go to combat. We have him on a 3-turn clock. I don't see any reason to mess with that. Playing the Auriok Sunchaser doesn't actually improve our clock. So yeah, we're just going to pass, hold up our 2 Galvanic Blasts. Okay. Sure. Okay, so it looks like he might just be going for it. Or he's just cycling the Shadow Rift to see if he could bait me into using my Galvanic Blast. He doesn't know I have 2. He knows I have 1, so he's not going to do anything stupid into the 1 Galvanic Blast. I don't want to cast my Galvanic Blast until after he uses the card Inside Out, I think. It's a card that flips the power and toughness of Tireless Tribe. Okie doke. Sure. We're going to get a blue mana with this. Going to get a white mana with this one. Play the Sunchaser. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 artifacts in play. Not going to play the Mirror Enforcer. Actually, we can just kill him here. Yeah, we're just going to do that. I was like so worried of playing around stuff that like I totally forgot we can legitimately just kill him. Maybe I should. I don't know if the deck plays Daze, but I could have played around Daze if I was just thinking like, duh, I just kill him by attacking him. Correct Clan Shaman is actually a good card in this matchup because it's another way to kill Tireless Tribe. Hydroblast actually isn't too good. I think it's like fine, but not insane. Metallic Rebuke could be nice because they're only like they have some. There's different post-board strategies for the deck. I know that Michael Jacobs, who's a streamer, plays the 2/4 like artifact creature in the sideboard. So maybe that's something I should like bring in 1 Ancient Grudge to deal with. But I'm definitely bringing the Shamans. Metallic Rebuke could be fine. Relic's not good. Hydroblast definitely not good. Pyroblast has some consideration because they do have a lot of blue spells. And Ancient Grudge has some consideration. So what's bad in the matchup? I don't hate Bone Splitter, but I think it's probably worse than Correct Clan Shaman. So that's probably going to come out. And then all of my creatures attack pretty well into the into his like ground creatures, but Auriok Sunchaser is my like hardest guy to cast. So I'm probably going to shave these 4 guys and bring in 3 Correct Clan Shamans as just another answer. And then 1 Metallic Rebuke. Try it like that. You don't want to shave too many cards in the matchup because you do want to be able to pressure them. Oh man, this is tricky. I'm going to keep this hand. It's got a pretty fast clock, but I can just die on like turn 2. So, got to keep that in mind. Okay. He just deploys his turn 1 Tireless Tribe. He probably has a second one in his hand, or he would have waited, maybe. I'm actually not going to block. I don't care about 1 damage. The flipping spell costs 2 mana. And I will hit him for 1. Every point matters. especially when it could be a tight race. I actually made a pretty decent sized mistake on my first turn land drop, just with the way I played my spells out, my lands out. I don't know if it's going to hurt me that much, but I should have probably played my plains to represent. Actually, yeah, it doesn't matter at all. To represent like a galvanic blast or something. Hit him with the Carapace Forger. The problem here is I don't actually have an answer for his combo. And he's eventually going to have to go for it. Yep. Yep, he just goes for it and I lose. Rough. Very rough. Okay. Let's bring in another Metallic Rebuke over a Sun Chaser. Just maybe counter one of his important spells. A little bit more interaction. I'll keep. This is a fine hand. Definitely heavy on interaction, but if I draw like a cheap creature, I can, heavy on interaction by one counter spell. If I draw a cheaper creature like a Frogmite, this hand really takes off. Okay, as soon as he has the Tireless Tracker in play, the game has a whole new dynamic. Before that happens, I want to get my stuff in place to put a clock on him. So I just want to get like a great creature draw here, or artifact is fine. So I play the artifact, play Thoughtcast. Okay, next turn I'm going to be able to deploy both of my threatening creatures. Whoa, so he has like counterspell represented or something of that nature. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's just go play Somber Hoverguard. Play Prophetic Prison. Ooh, nice draw. 4, 5, 6, 7. Play Mirror Enforcer. He has Counterspell, he might counter this. Brainstorm, okay. I don't mind that as much. Getting down a Krark-Clan Shaman would be huge. Because then I can essentially trade artifacts to like slowly make him discard his hand. To keep the Tireless Tribe alive. Like this is an ace in the hole card in the matchup. Usually you bring in Krark-Clan Shaman against elves, but against Tireless Tribe it's also nice. Okay. Start the attacking. You remember, you don't want to use the Krark-Clan Shaman until after they have gone for their combo. Because you want them to have switch the power and toughness so they can't just discard a card. The real combo is if I can draw a Flayer Husk, because then I can just use it over and over. That's like a real game-winning combo to assemble in this matchup. Also, he's really light on mana here, so I can Metallic Rebuke something. I'm definitely going to Metallic Rebuke that. I want to keep my clock intact. Add blue mana. Not a great draw for me so far. I do have him on a clock, but I don't have significant pressure. Him being able to disenchant my Mirror Enforcer was pretty big. Ouch. That's real bad. No, and now I lose. Ugh, this has been a very disappointing game. The problem with this game was that I flooded out. There's nothing I can really do about it, but that was, yeah. I only run 16 lands and I drew, and plus the 4 Springleaf Drums, and I just drew too many of them. It happens, but it's frustrating. Because I could have definitely won this match based on the strength of my opening hand, but it just didn't work out. Yup, and now he just does his combo thing. I'm not gonna... Okay, yeah. And his last card is almost definitely a counterspell. Yup. Brutal game, not gonna lie. Yup. Ouch. Just got destroyed there. I mean, that third game, I could have definitely beaten him. He spent a very long time setting up, but as you can see, just based on my cards, I just had a Thought Cast that drew me 2 lands, and then it just was over from there. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 real spells, and then 8 lands pretty much. So it happens, but hopefully we can bounce back in round 4. Hello, and welcome to round 4 with Pauper Affinity. Hoping to bounce back after that last round, and this is going to be a mulligan. We have a lot of our expensive cards, but if we don't draw a land on our second turn, the game's just over. We can still have good 6-card hands like this one. Definitely a good 6. Don't want that, that's for sure. A lot of our cards are blue, but we have 3 lands already, so we don't want to flood out. This game, we're just going to go Sun Chaser into Sun Chaser, and Sun Chaser plus Frogmite, and hope that's good enough. At least that's our base plan, and then we'll see what our cards that we draw say. Could be playing... Ooh, playing against Slivers. Slivers is a pretty bad matchup, I think, in a lot of cases. Based on your draw, of course. But based on this draw, it's going to be tricky to beat him, for sure. We don't have any removal, and the key thing against Slivers is to have removal for his Slivers to buff his other Slivers, because otherwise they just snowball out of control way too quickly. But I'll be interested to see if we can race him with Flyers, and then maybe get a key jump block with a Frogmite. Oh my god. Who plays Spinneret Sliver? Who? Tell me one person that has ever played Spinneret Sliver. I can't believe it. He has the counter to my Aerial Sun Chaser. To be quite honest, he probably just plays this as a 2-mana 2/2 Sliver, and the reach literally never comes up, except for today. So play the Flare Husk, and then attack him for 3, and then play my other Sun Chaser. You've got to be kidding me! You've got to be kidding! Ah! Oh, that's so tilting. Oh, that's so tilting. No, the Spinneret Sliver. The least famous of the Slither brethren. Honestly, Muscle Sliver, which gives all Slivers +1/+1, would have probably been better for me. Oh, no, Spinneret. No. Each new generation of Slivers evolves to assimilate the strengths of the prey upon which their progenitors fed. He's clearly been feeding on freaking Aurochs Sun Chasers. Oh my gosh. It's a 3/4? Yeah, I guess so. Oh my gosh. Curse you, Spinneret Sliver. Oh my gosh. Why didn't I play my Frogmite? That's the question. I was mind gaming the opponent. Going for the epic mind games. I'm actually going to go for this equip. Definitely not tapping my mana like that. Gotta at least represent the Galvanic Blast. And then I will attack him. If he trades Muscle Sliver for it, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, Spinneret Sliver is the one that I hope to trade with. Because the Spinneret is the problem. Spinneret Sliver. The bane of my existence. Please tell me you don't have another Spinneret Sliver. I swear, he probably has mutagenic growth, to be quite honest, if he's blocking with his Spinneret Sliver. Also, he probably doesn't realize that my entire hand is reliant on RX Sunchasers. I'm definitely going to chump with the Flare Husk because I can just equip it. Okay, if you control planes. What is this card? This guy is breaking the meta. Oh my god. Orin's Cure. Good job, opponent. Outplayed the hell out of me with your bizarre Orin's Cure tech. What is that even for? Wow, just destroy me. He only has 2 cards in hand, which is nice. But, I don't know. Okay, lead the Stampede. I spoke too soon, obviously. Clearly I spoke too soon. Oh, no. I don't think I'm allowed to... Oh my gosh, that was the worst lead the Stampede I've ever seen. What the hell? He hit 1 creature? Get destroyed, opponent. Get completely and utterly owned. Oh, man. Let's go. Can't cast it, but another flyer. Just a stupid Spinneret Sliver. Next leveling me. We are going to just equip. Actually, no, we're not. We are just going to play our other Sunchaser. Gonna get that nice Sunchaser action. Well, normally drawing flyers wouldn't be that bad. Galvanic Blast isn't going to do anything now. This guy's got a very meta-tuned deck, clearly. He clearly has certain matchups that he wants to face, including the Affinity deck that runs all flyers. Ooh, second lead the Stampede. Can he average it out? He needs to hit 3 creatures to balance out the poor performance of the first one. And he does. I hate Virulent Sliver. Just so annoying. And Sinew Sliver. And another Standard Bearer. Okay, so we know his entire hand. So basically what we're saying is that our guys are going to get destroyed by Spinneret Slivers. Basically, we lose this game. Because eventually, he's going to have like 20 slivers, and we're just going to be sitting here with our Aurex Sunchasers, wishing we could kill Spinneret Sliver. Because that's a card that exists. Oh my god. There's the Virulent Sliver. Indeed. It's a 2/4 right off the bat. Slivers is a very fun deck, shall we say. It literally just does the same thing. It just plays all of its slivers. I guess this guy got bored of that, so he just was like, why the heck not? I'll just add an Orim's Cure. This card that I've never seen in my life. Oh, that's so bad. That's so sad. Oh, I'll get destroyed by Orim's Cure. What the heck? Poisonous 1. Yeah, that's basically infect. I think I lost it. It stacks. So if they have 2 Virulent Slivers, it like does it twice. So that's something you need to keep in mind. Okay. I'm going to equip up my Frogmite. Because he's a useful member of the team. I wonder... the Flying Sliver is in blue. He's just got the next best thing, which is Reach Sliver. And it's just a 3/6. Oh my gosh. Yep. Okay, he's out of cards in hand, but his board is a lot scarier than mine. The thing is if he attacks, I can like make good double blocks and stuff to trade with his guys. So I'm not even that afraid right now. I'm getting afraid. I mean, I can't actually do anything, so I think I lose this game. This is one of the matchups. Well, I don't even know if this is a matchup where a Tog combo would be good, but this is a board state where a Tog combo would be nice to have in my deck. Just as a way to punch through. Yay! Blue. I can't believe that Spinneret's Liver is doing this much work. I think this is the most work that Spinneret's Liver has ever done in its career as a Magic card. Oh my gosh, this game would be so different because I'd be like working towards a one-turn Alpha Strike with my flyers. As it is, I'm just getting massacred. I guess, yeah, I'm not even. I was about to say, oh, I can attack past the reach guy, but all of his slivers get reach. They're all the same creature, pretty much. Oh gosh, Spinneret Sliver number 2. That's pretty much the death knell for me. Just all the Spinneret Slivers. Let's just keep digging. I don't even know if I have outs. I think he just wins the late game. Normally my late game plan is flyers, but I don't even have that as an out. Oh my gosh. I hate Spinner Sliver. It's probably just a standard card to play. 2/2 Sliver for 2 is probably just a playable body. But the stupid reach text is... Oh man. It's probably quite relevant in Pauper, to be quite honest. Oh my gosh. Flanking is so bad for me. Whenever a creature without flanking, the creature gets -1/-1. No. Double blocks just got so much worse. Look at his board! He could just alpha me. Oh dear. This is real bad. I like how I have 2 of each of these, but not a blue one yet. Feels bad, man. I did start with... Oh my gosh. This is why this game is not getting better for me. These slivers are just out of control. No. There's a Galvanic Blast. So I have 4 Galvanic Blasts in my deck. I can eventually draw all 4 of them to deal 16 to my opponent, which is still not 20. Actually, that's not even true. I thought Standard Bearer was as part of... Oh gosh. I have to target the Standard Bearers. And I'm eventually just going to die to this stupid poison, if not the damage. Oh gosh. I just lose. This is so sad. No. At least I'll be able to take down a Standard Bearer before I go. Why the heck is he playing a Standard Bearer in a Slivers deck? I guess like it protects your Slivers. Why hasn't he attacked me yet? Just look at the number of creatures he has. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 creatures, and I have 3, 6, 8. So if 4 of the creatures get in, he gets double poison procs on each of them. The smallest creature is a 1/1. I guess these guys don't really count. Next turn he's alphaing for sure. Heck yeah, hit that blue source. Somber Hoverguard coming in hot. He's got double flanking, double poison. All of his creatures are huge. What could possibly go wrong from here? Oh, triple flanking. That's completely fair. Wow. Oh gosh. All my creatures get -3/-3. Yeah, that is a pretty brutal attack step if you ask me. And I actually have to block. I can't take damage from more than 5 of them. I have to only get a hit through for 4. My 4 guys. Okay, so he's got these guys here. So let's just put some chump blocks out. Let's just jump here. 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 4, 8, 12, 16. I go to 3. Then we'll kill a Standard Bearer. That's a fun stack. Yield until next end step. All of the flanking. I have clearly been outflanked. Sniped him. Yeah, we lose. That was a foregone conclusion a long time ago. I'm not even quite sure why I played it out, to be quite honest. So I kind of like to play this matchup as like a control-ish matchup because I can't kill him quickly enough, really. So I like to bring in my counters and my Karat Clan shamans. And I take out Bone Splitters. And I'm going to take out... Actually going to take out some Flare Husks. Cutting Flare Husks is generally pretty bad. Because you need them for your artifact count. I guess I'll cut... What do I bring in? I'm going to just bring in 2 Karat Clan Shamans. It's not like the greatest card in the matchup. Actually, it's not very good at all. I'm just going to sideboard like this. Karat Clan Shaman just... I have to sacrifice so many artifacts for it to work that it's not really great in the matchup. I've like brought it in sometimes, and it just sometimes performs. This is actually a hand that I'm going to keep. Because Galvanic Blast can kill some of his key slivers. Which is important. He's on a mulligan. And I mean, obviously I can't cast a lot of my spells, but I have 2 Galvanic Blasts, which are some of my best cards. He's on a mulligan to 5. So if I can draw some lands before he gets out of his mulligan, then this could be a very good game indeed. I'm just going to play the Springleaf Drum on turn 1. This opens me up to drawing a Flare Husk, all that stuff. I don't really need a Galvanic Blast up on turn 1. Yep. Heck yes. I mean, it's not the land I wanted, but it's a land. Makes my Galvanic Blast deal 4 damage. Flanking Sliver is not the one that I want to hit with a Galvanic Blast. Virulent Sliver, I mean, I'm probably going to have to... Yeah, it feels bad. I just want to draw... I want to draw first. There we go. There we go. Let's go, team. Draw a couple cards. Ooh, things are shaping up nicely. Indeed. I can trade this guy off for a Sidewinder Sliver. Gotta make sure I play around that, Oh, no. I mean, this card's much worse when he doesn't have any slivers that buff his guys, so I'm not actually that afraid. Okay, now I'm afraid. I'm terrified. Okay, so he got just 2 normal slivers. If I draw a land this turn, that'd be really good. Not the land I wanted, but I'll take it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to play that guy. Hold up my Galvanic Blast / Metallic Rebuke. Okay. That's a card. Gonna do it before it comes into play in case he's playing Mutagenic Growth. Sniped it. Feels good, man. Luckily, my counter spell is still going to function, which is nice. I do want to draw a blue land at some point, but third red land, pretty useless at this point in the game, but actually going to play the white creature. Does block a little bit better. Start getting in for that sweet, sweet damage. Metallic Rebuke is actually pretty useless this game because of his Gem Hide Sliver, so I'm not like prioritizing holding it up. I'd rather play my threats. Flanking Sliver, I mean Plated Sliver. This is a game that I think I can win. Yeah, Standard Bearer is pretty bad at this point. I mean, I don't think it's good in the matchup at all. I think he should side it out if he can, but clearly he can't. Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Get in for that. I'm going to get in for this guy. I'm happy to trade this guy for a couple slivers. I'm actually probably pretty fine trading this guy for a sliver too, but I'd rather use it to cast my Hover Guard. Like, if I can trade my creature for 2 slivers, I'm fine with that. Like, trading off for slivers, they might not seem great, but keep in mind that I played this guy for like 0 mana, and it's like an even mana exchange, and the slivers can get very scary pretty quickly. Like, imagine if he drew Lead the Stampede here. He could easily buff his slivers by like 3 or 4 power. Boom. Haha. We have defeated my opponent, my foe. The Manxome foe has been defeated. Oh man, I might have to bring in Crackland Shaman. It feels bad. I'm going to bring in 2 copies. And for it, I shall cut 2 Sunchaser. No, yeah. Yeah, 2 Sunchasers. Sunchaser's hard to cast sometimes, and I mean, it does good work a lot of the time, but I think it's better to have Crackland Shaman. Is this a keeper? I think it is. We have some card draw, we have removal, we have Sunchaser, we have Flare Husk. Flare Husk is not that great, but we can turn on our Thoughtcast. Love it. We just draw the best land for every scenario. I mean, obviously, we're going to draw duplicates of our lands. It's like not a, like, I'm not saying that I'm trying to be salty. It's just like, it happens, but it feels bad. It feels so sad. Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's the classic oh dear moment. All his slivers can tap for mana. Yikes. Let's go. The living weapon action. Coming at you for 1 damage. Fear me, opponent. Draw a couple cards. Nice. Heck yeah. Carapace Forger and Somber Hoverguard next turn. This is great. We do want to be able to cast our Galvanic Blast soon, though. Keep that in mind. I don't think Gemhide Sliver is very good in slivers, necessarily. Okay, flanking slivers. Is this just attacking? Yeah, just block. Ugh. Ick. That's what I have to say to that guy. Ick. Give me a mountain. I mean, the equivalent of a mountain. I'll take it. I think I'm going to play Carapace Forger into Somber Hoverguard this turn. And then next turn I can Prism into Sunchaser or Prism into Blast, depending on the situation. But getting this like flying threat out is nice. I might regret not using the Blast when I have the chance, because he does still have Standard Bearer in his deck for some reason. Another Sidewinder Sliver. Obnoxious for sure. Puts me into a racing situation, which I don't really want to be into. Yeah, I can't block at this point. But if I do get the Galvanic Blast down, which it looks like I will be able to, could be good. So I just hope he doesn't have Orims, whatever the heck, to save his Sinew Sliver. So we are going to block this guy. Soak up some damage. Because we're going to be equipping in a couple turns anyway. Against Slivers, you generally want to chump as late as possible, but I want to have the option to equip if I think it is necessary. Okay, so now we can go... Oh, this is awkward. Actually, it's not that awkward. So we can go Springleaf Drum into Sun Chaser. We can't cast everything. Dang. Actually, yeah, we can. We just can't cast Prism this turn. So we're going to cast Sun Chaser into Springleaf Drum into attacking for multiple damages. 8 to be precise. That says to me that he doesn't have the Orims card. Kill this Sliver. So next turn we're threatening 4, 7, 10, 11, 12 damage. One short of the big time. Maybe chumping was incorrect. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to connect for damage. He does need a pretty big draw here. His guys are not big. They're actually quite small. Ooh! Oh, yes! The top-decked Galvanic Blast for exact lethal. Actually, it's not exact, but you get my point. I'm proud of it. Combat. Attack! I could have played the land and then equipped the thing anyway, but... Okay. Play land. Equip this to my flyer. I'm going to keep up a blue mana so he doesn't suspect the Galvanic Blast. I don't know what's in his hand, but it's probably not good for him. Looks like we're going to get a W. I'm speaking too soon, of course, because you never can be sure, but things are looking up. And we get the win! Yes! Ooh, we win the match. We win the match. Very exciting. But anyway, that's going to do it for the round. Very exciting match against Slivers. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for the final round. Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to Match 5, the final match of this video. If you did make it this far into the video, and you want to share some love, let me know in the comments. Say something like hashtag made it to Match 5 or something like that to let me know. It is really actually helpful for my data, kind of, to know which people like watch all the way, not like which people, but like if people actually watch all the way to Match 5 and stuff. So do let me know if you would like. But yeah, let's get into the match. We would like to play first. Winning the die roll, already off to a great start. 3 different colors of mana. Excellent hand, it looks like. Definitely keeping it. Very strong hand, I think. I mean, maybe not the greatest hand, but definitely pretty good. Welcome back, Kyle. Going to be leading off with a Seat of the Synod. To Great Furnace, presumably. Opponent agonizing over their mulligan decision, or whether or not they want to let me go past my upkeep. Flare has gone turn 1. I really value having an artifact on turn 1. I think I said that in the deck tech. It's just really, really nice. Ooh, mirror match? Ooh, yes, mirror match. This is where my sideboarding of Ancient Grudge will come in clutch. I do think that Gorilla Shaman's better probably, but I didn't make the substitution. Gonna go that land. Play Thoughtcast. Card advantage is really key in this matchup. I also think that my sideboard plan is... not my sideboard, but my Flyers plan is pretty good. Because the ground can stall out sometimes. I mean, the Flyers are nice. I think this is going to be a very close match for sure. at least in the early stages, I think I'm favored because the Atog doesn't come online for quite a bit. He's playing black mana. Interesting. Very interesting. Here I'm a little bit choked on blue mana. I would love to find a Springleaf Drum of my own if I could. Ooh, he's off to an explosive start for sure. Oh dear. Yeah, that's a problem. Ouch. We are just going to play our Somber Hover Guard. Get a creature on the board. But yeah, that was a very good start for him. Great turn 2. That's definitely what this deck is capable of. He only has 2 cards in his hand. If one of them is Timur Battle Rage, I'm in real bad shape. Thoughtcast. Gearseeker Serpent. Yikes. Oh my goodness. He's playing a greedy version of the deck. That's definitely like something to keep in mind, is that you can build like multiple versions of the deck. There's versions that play like Gearseeker Serpent, but they're really hard on the mana. I've definitely played all these versions. A double block like this. You sax an artifact to have a double trade. I think I'm going to block like this, and then Galvanic Blast to make him sacrifice 2 extra artifacts. This just kind of makes it hard for him to do as much stuff. This is definitely the type of start where Atog thrives. Yep. The cool thing for me here is that it's still going to trade unless he sacrifices another artifact because of the 4 damage. So he has to sacrifice even another artifact, which does put him dangerously low. Yep. So he sacrificed basically his entire board worth of artifacts. So I traded 2 guys for all his artifacts. So this Atog is basically not a threat anymore. I just have to deal with the Gearseeker and I'll win. So I need some big creatures here. Ooh, I'm going to go for the Thoughtcast here. It's greedy, but I think it's necessary. Perfect. Getting rewarded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, Mirror Enforcer. And now I think I'll be able to win. Those were 2 very key draws. So I can double block Gearseeker Serpent now. He's locked out of casting a lot of his spells. His like affinity spells, his Mirror Enforcers are now quite bad draws because he can't cast them. Definitely going to double block. He can't cast any spells right now. Trading my 4/4 for his 5/6 is going to really work out in the long run. I could have eaten these 2 guys, but I don't want to take too much damage here. I'm going to be able to refill with Thoughtcast. And I think I'm in good shape here. My Flare Husk is going to equip to this to help it hold back things. I have too many lands at this point. Some versions of Affinity run the card Perilous Research to help sacrifice extra lands and stuff. Let's see, have I played a land yet? No, I haven't. Perfect. Get in for 4, then re-equip to the Frogmite to hold back his forces. Keep in mind, this Atog can sacrifice the Frogmites, so I need to be aware of that. But he's locked out of casting spells if he wants to keep attacking. No attack, that's good for me. So it looks like my line did end up paying off so far. Except for the fact that I am currently a little bit mana flooded. Just a smidge. Ideally, I would draw a spell to cast that's not Springleaf Drum, but I'm still going to cast the drum, I think. No reason not to. I think this game, he definitely had the tools to win, but he went a little bit too aggressive. He probably should have just let the Atog trade. But he, yeah, ran out of lands. Now he can cast a... he can't cast Mirror Enforcer. What am I saying? He's, hopefully he got a hand filled with Mirror Enforcers. Because that means he can't cast them. That's a good one. Big draw here. Come on, deck. I mean, I have drawn a lot more cards than my opponent thanks to all the Thoughtcasts. Ooh. Nice. Weird that I don't have a white land yet when I have 10 of my lands. Just a little bit unlucky. Next turn I have lethal in the air, so I don't want to have to block. Let's do some quick math. 4 plus... so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I do have to block Atog this turn. Off by the slimmest of margins. If I had been able to cast my Sun Chaser without tapping Frogmite, I would have been able to do it. Four. I think if I can just put this guy in front of the Atog, it's going to work out nicely. He'll have to sacrifice 2 artifacts to keep the Atog alive. He has to make it an all-out attack here. Definitely blocking the Atog, or I die, so I could like trade with this guy, but I think making him sacrifice 2 artifacts is valuable. Also, he has to sacrifice 2 artifacts, or the oh, he sacrificed the Frogmite. I still have him on a 2-turn clock either way, so yep. Okay, star. This Flare Husk has been doing good work, I will say. Yes, Somber Hoverguard. Look at the Flyers just doing their work. I'm definitely going to hold back the Frogmite to block. My Flyers are more valuable. Maybe I didn't equip that to the right guy. Wow, if he has Fling, I lose. I think he's looking for it. 3, 5, 7, 9. I lose with Exactsies. Oh, that'd be really frustrating. He's digging for it. I think this is a pretty ideal scenario. Oh, no! He had it! Ah! Oh my gosh. Ouch. Oh, we battled through so much, only to come up just short. Wow, that's just, yeah, a little bit unlucky. I think that, like, I don't think I don't think the Fling version of the deck is better. I just think that draw he had was better. Just look at the land count. He had 1, 2, 3, 4 lands drawn, right? Yeah, he drew 4 lands that game, and I drew 8 lands. So if I drew 4 more spells that game, it was so far over in my opinion, like for me. I mean, I did draw a lot more cards, so maybe if I drew like 1 extra land, but that's just a little bit unfortunate. And it's exact damage. That's really, really unfortunate. Okay, so now I get to bring in my anti-Atog sideboard tech, 2 Hydroblasts, 2 Metallic Rebukes. 2 Ancient Grudges, Unnatural State, and yep. And then I take out Bone Splitter. It's not really about Bone Splitter in this matchup. I'm going to take out Auriok Sunchaser. It's just a little bit hard to cast. And then I will take out 1 copy of... Take out 1 Flare Husk. I know I said it's not good to take out Flare Husk, but I think in this situation I can. Because I just want to make sure my... actually... Take out a Somber Hoverguard. We'll abandon the Flyer Plan a little bit here. That was very unfortunate. Oh, man. I could have definitely won that. I just drew too many lands. And then I didn't... I also... If I'd had a white land, the game was over, too. The big problem was that I couldn't cast... if I'd been able to cast the Sunchaser on that one turn and had the Frogmite untapped to chump the Atog, I would have won on the spot. But I didn't. Man, I think I played that game really well, too. Unfortunate. Maybe I don't want Metallic Rebuke. I guess we'll figure out if it's going to be good. This is a solid hand. We'll keep it. Gonna lead with the mountain. I mean the furnace, because the Seed of the Synod is more important. So if he has Artifact Destruction, we don't have any Artifact Destruction right now, which is a bit of a downside. But we could draw into it. We do have a pretty good clock. A lot of the sideboarded matchups does come down to drawing your Ancient Grudges and the like. But maybe he hasn't prepared for the mirror as much. Wow. Also remember that his draw was basically as good as you could possibly have, and we were still about to beat him. If we just had... we drew like half our lands and not one of our white ones. So yeah. I'm not trying to complain. I know it sounds like I'm complaining and like that I'm trying to defend complaining, but I just want to like people to understand that it wasn't just he had a better version of the deck or something like that. I think that this version is actually a good place to be in the current state of things. Though Atog is potent, maybe it would be good in the sideboard, I don't know. And also, like, his version might be better in the exact mirror, because Atog is pretty decent in the mirror, when I don't have a ton of interaction, but in the overall scheme of things. Another 1-mana artifact would be nice here. Big draw coming up. Him not having Gorilla Shaman's nice. I think Gorilla Shaman is a really good card in this matchup that is probably better than Ancient Grudge. If I was making this deck now, I probably would put it in the Gorilla Shaman. Ooh. I think I just go with Carapace Forger. It's just really big. And then next turn I can play the Frogmites and the Thoughtcast. It's the same amount of damage. Okay, what you got, opponent? He clearly just drew the Springleaf Drum. Okay, Affinity count is at 4. Okay, so he's drawing some cards. Remember that we can replace Chromatic Star with a card, so we're not actually like down too many cards. We have our own draw too. Come on, big turn. That was not what we wanted. We're going to lead with Thoughtcast. Frogmite. Frogmite. Thoughtcast. Ooh, there's a good one. Mirror Enforcer is really good here. Springleaf Drum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Flare Husk. Mirror Enforcer. Hit him for 4. And then we'll just hold up Metallic Rebuke to try and counter one of his big spells, and we're in great shape here. We had a quite good turn 3. Shoes on the other foot, see how the opponent can respond. One of the things about Atog is he's pretty bad when you're behind, because you're not able to deploy your big threats, and then you play your Atog, and he can't aggressively attack and force them to like chump block him, essentially. And, oh gosh. Wish I had my counter spell up for that, but... Yep. We're not even in too much trouble. Eventually we'll find a second Flare Husk to just punch through. He can't really attack us either. The thing about Gear Seeker Serpent, I have played it before. I think it's one of those cards that can make the deck really strong, but it's really kind of hard to cast because you only have 2 blues. The four Sea Descendants, which means you have to play more Prophetic Prisms, and when you play more Prophetic Prisms, you have like a couple like certain draws where you just play a Prophetic Prism, draw a land off it, and then you're kind of dead in the water to some degree. I think you really have to like commit and build around Gear Seeker Serpent. Okay, a little bit. I mean, that's a good draw for sure. 4/4s are always welcome. We're going to go up the Carapace Forger. Can't really attack him though. We can just Metallic Rebuke with these 3. Oh no, not Ancient Grudge. Okay, Galvanic Blast. Sure. We just want to make sure he doesn't resolve like another Gear Seeker Serpent. An Atog would be kind of annoying. Definitely saving our counter spell. The third Mirror Enforcer type creature doesn't really do as much. That's fine. We can't counter it anyway. Hopefully he like tries to cast something this turn, because then we can still counter it. Can't counter that, unfortunately. Trying to... Okay, perfect. We can counter whatever he plays here. It is getting a bit dicey on whether we can Metallic Rebuke effectively. Now we're just drawing for Flare Husks. Glad I kept the 4th one in. But here, Atog would pretty much be great. So yeah, the Atog version may be better in the mirror, but also this Gear Seeker Serpent is really good in the mirror. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So yeah, because the Gear Seeker Serpent is really good at stalling. I have played versions with Gear Seeker Serpent in the past. I do like the card, but I think it's a bit hard to cast. And yeah, I think flyers are pretty good. So, oh goodness, what? Block, block, block. Don't want to give him too much value. He only has 1 card in hand. If he kills this guy, we still trade with his dude. This seems like a pretty safe block to me. What could he possibly have? Even Temur Battle Rage doesn't save him in this situation. Oh my gosh. No. Oh, I totally forgot about Ancient Grudge. Oh, man. Not throwing that extra Frogmite. I mean, to be fair, even if we don't have that and I still have a Frogmite, I'm still in really bad shape, but... Oh, now I just lose. I'm conceding. I can't win. I can't kill this thing anymore. Oh, no. That was so good. That is the nature of sideboard cards, though. They are brutal when you draw them. Don't know why I didn't equip Flare Husk. Probably because I'm not paying attention anymore, because the game's over at this point. Wow, that was so brutal. Took an extra 2 damage for no reason, but yeah, I lost the game as soon as I didn't throw that extra Frogmite in the way. Baited and outsmarted. Wow. Jeez. Super close match. Feel like I could have won both games if I'd drawn better. The first game, I didn't have my counterspell up for the turn he played Gear Seeker, which happens. Then that Ancient Grudge just owned me. Definitely keep that card in mind. I was thinking, what card could he have? He could only kill one of my guys, and then I have Ancient Grudge in my deck, and yeah. Oh, man. There was no reason not to block with the extra Frogmite. I was thinking about it from a different perspective, where he has like Teamer Battle Rage, and then I don't know. Even then, I would rather not risk the Ancient Grudge blowout. Jesus. Even if I had an extra, like, 2-2, I'm still losing that game, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I have a couple more draws, but Jesus, that was so brutal. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and you enjoy Pauper content, be sure to let me know in the comments section by hitting that thumbs up and subscribing. But anyway, that's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you next time.